Dog.
We'll talk about it.
Talk about Jason's dog.
But a dog.
Doing cat things.
The dog
But
on butt.
dog, but
That is definitely that is a cat. It's doing cat things.
He's doing butt a dog.
Bodie
things.
dog.
Dude, he lives on the back of the couch.
That's wild.
That is 100% a cat thing.
Okay, let's bust through this shitty letdown category.
biggest letdown. Jason
Let's
playing
bust through
Nier.
that shitty letdown category. And here we are talking about the biggest disappointments of the year. This is the flip side, reversed inverse of the biggest surprise. This is something that we were excited for, or we thought was going to be good, and then ended up not being that, because sometimes you call it wrong and it's the bad kind. But Ryan, what was a huge fucking letdown for you this year?
This one actually wasn't a huge letdown. I think this was more of one that had a lot of potential as I was playing it, and just it didn't hit quite as well as I wanted it to, just based on a couple of things. But it was Call of the Sea.
Oh, okay.
It was a really interesting puzzle game where you basically get dropped off on an island and you're solving puzzles a la kind of like The Witness, but not quite as open, but they are almost equally as just like, what the fuck do you want from me? The walking speed and the running speed might be the slowest I've ever seen in a video game.
Are we talking Everybody's Gone to the Rapture slow, or
Slower?
ooh,
Like, this is like you are waist deep in mud. Like, it is awful, and for no reason other than to potentially pad out the game.
that's a bummer.
There are a couple of puzzles too that are so kind of like esoteric and weird that you spend a lot of time just kind of staring at single things, just like, what the fuck do you want from me? So this really cool game that I feel like could have done a lot more with, like, it's kind of HP Lovecrafty, Cthulhu stuff, things like that, and it never goes hard enough into that, and then the pacing of it is so slow. Like, this game that it should be 2 hours, but everything in it stretches it out to like maybe 5.
That really bums me out. When I heard about that, I shot that recommendation your way, thinking it sounded like a you kind of thing, and that bums me out.
This isn't a bad game. It just missed the mark in a couple of places that I think it let itself down.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe that's the other thing worth mentioning about this category is it's not explicitly like this is a different category than worst game of the year, which
we got rid of.
we got rid of it this year because we didn't have enough to fill it out. I was looking at my list here. It's like, wait a minute, where is that category?
Yeah.
So we got
like,
rid of.
It's not a bad game if you want like a really heady puzzle game. It's worth checking out, but there are some pretty glaring issues in it that I think kind of drag it down, and it's not. It could have easily just on paper alone made it into my top 10, but then I played it and was like, oh shit, whoops. Ash, what were you let down by?
So this game was both a disappointment and also would have been the number one of my worst games I played this year, because again, we as a whole just didn't play that many really bad games, just due to a lot of games getting delayed and a lot of us doing other things and there being a fucking pandemic. But there's a little game that came out a while ago called Octodad. The crux of it is, what if you were a dad that is an octopus? It whips a lot of ass and is that studio's first game. That studio decided to finally make another game called Bug Snacks. They described it as a cross between Viva Pinata, Pokemon Snap, Legend of Zelda, and all of these other things that Dash likes a whole awful lot. He likes that studio. He likes all of those things. It looked like it was doing some weird body horror stuff, and I hope we didn't lose Matt.
I don't know what happened.
You're doing something with OBS, it looks like.
I'm not. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep talking about Bug
keep
Snacks.
going.
Matt's getting hacked.
Bug Snacks came out, and I was really excited for this game, and then they announced that it was gonna be free on PS Plus, which was the only like saving grace of this whole story.
That's always a good sign.
That's actually not necessarily that bad of a thing. Like, Sony often will go out of their, like, Rocket League was a PS Plus game. Like, tons of good stuff has come out in that situation. But it was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna get to play Bugsnax. It's gonna be free. This is excellent. And I got into it, and I'm kind of playing it, and the first hour goes by, and it's like, this. I don't really
Damn,
like
you
this.
played that game for an
writing.
hour?
No, I played the game longer than that. But I
That was
I played
me.
the first hour, and it's like, ooh, this writing isn't very good, nor is this game very fun to play. But it's the tutorial area. I'm gonna give it a chance. By the fourth hour, I was hating it and myself for having given it this much time of day.
I'm blown
I-
away that you played it for 4 hours.
I was insanely disappointed by it. I can't speak to anything that it does well other than the bunger, which is amazing.
Bunger.
Bunger,
And I'm
bunger,
sad
bunger.
that the bunger is stuck in such a terrible fucking game. Yeah, real bummed with that.
I'm probably still gonna check it out when I get a PS5 just
It's
to see.
free.
Well, it
I
won't
don't
be
think
free
it's free
anymore. That's the
anymore.
thing.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it
You can
costs
borrow
money.
my copy.
It costs
I'll
Yeah.
borrow Matt's copy.
It
You can
costs
come over to any of our
dollars.
You can come to any of our houses and play it for 15 minutes and realize that you don't need to.
Like I think that everything it does literally every single thing badly. Like I can't, other than the bunger. There aren't even that many different bug snacks. Like it's a lot of like maybe 10 different things that they then do a lot of variants on. Like there's a barbecue bunger, there's a cheese bunger.
This
Does
is
the
a bunger
cheese
time.
bunger say cheese bunger?
No, they still just say bunger.
Fucking terrible dog shit. game.
Yeah, it's and like I guess another positive thing I can say about it, I like saying the word Beffica. I think that
Yeah,
Beffica
yeah.
is a fun thing to say, but I hate Beffica. She really every character really
All of them are
sucks.
bad.
Like it's this, I don't want to like call it like millennial meme humor, because I think that something like Ooblets or Undertale does that well, and this just doesn't. God, it fucking sucks.
Jason, let us down.
Jason, talk about bug snacks.
No, not yet.
Oh god.
My third biggest letdown is Immortals, Phoenix
Mm.
Rising. I don't have super strong feelings about it. I think that game might be okay,
I've heard that game is okay.
but like the combat is bad. And I played it immediately after playing Ghost of Tsushima, where the combat is very good. And it also has similar things where there's like parry and dodge, but the buttons are all different from what I had been doing for 30 hours before that. But I think the combat's clunky and seems completely unnecessary. You could just make it a game where you go on adventures and solve some puzzles.
Yeah, because it's very much like a Breath of the Wild
Yeah,
affair,
that-
right?
That's kind of I barely played Breath of the Wild, but you can climb a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a Breath of the Wild like.
I want to
there's,
check
like-
it. I still
and
want to check it
It's
out.
dungeony. You can borrow it. It's
I have low expectations, but
I think if they just got rid of the combat and made it also kind of sucks to move in. Like I feel like you don't move very fast. I feel like you take way too long to get from point A. It doesn't need to really be open world. At least
Damn.
from the chunk of it that I've played. Like it might get way better, but I didn't get hooked. I just couldn't force myself to play it anymore. I might still go back to it.
it's also
But it just wasn't very fun. Like the
it's
puzzles,
a Greek game that came out the same year as Hades.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the early game puzzles, I mean, they're all super easy, but I enjoyed doing them. Like whenever I dropped, I don't know if you've watched anything on it,
Barely.
but you like drop down like wells, kind of like well looking things. And that's when you do like some of the puzzly dungeon stuff.
I mean, I don't think that Zelda puzzles are particularly complicated, but they can still be
Right.
enjoyable. Like Pathless's
and
puzzles aren't hard, but they're still
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
I enjoyed all the puzzles I did to get through in Immortals, but the combat was just bad. Like there was one boss I ran into that wasn't like overly difficult combat, but it was like a flying boss in a game where you have a bow and arrow, but it doesn't do very much damage. So you had to the boss never landed. So you had to like kind of bait it into coming down and then do like jump sword attacks on it. And it just was clunky. It just didn't feel good. but I think the game's okay. I don't think it's good.
I think that's that game looks like the most by the numbers Ubisoft that Ubisoft has maybe ever put out, but I still want to check it out.
I like the look of the game. I like the characters from what I've seen. The writing's very light and fun, but the gameplay just, other than on the puzzle parts, the gameplay just isn't very good to me. But I might hop back in it randomly at some point. But
I've almost
really,
bought it several times because it's been
I really
$30.
hate that it forces me to have the PS4 and PS5 installs.
Oh, that fucking
Oh,
blows.
that's weird.
It's super annoying.
It was really weird.
Like I have enough hard drive space to be okay with that, but that's still
Yeah,
really
it doesn't
stupid.
matter now, but no, it's super annoying because I installed it. It installed both of them because I bought the PS4 copy because it was like $15 cheaper at the time because it was on sale, but the PS5 version wasn't. So then but obviously it lets you install the PS5 version. So I installed both, and then I deleted the PS4 copy because they're like 30 gigs each. But then the first time I went to I put the disc in and went to boot it up, it immediately started downloading the PS4 one again. And that's
I
something I guess you can't
understand
get
why
around.
it's doing that, but God, it
It's
sucks that
super
it does that.
It's really stupid. But yeah, it's I don't think it's a horrible game. I didn't play that many bad things last year, but I just
This category is
let
pulling double
down.
duty this year for bad and let down, so whatever, it works out.
yeah.
Matt, what was you think bad?
My number 3 letdown was also Bug Snacks.
Move your fucking mic. My fucking letdown is you moving that mic away from your mouth.
My number 3
You know that
letdown
isn't
was
what I wanted,
also
and you still
Bug
fucking
Snacks.
did it. Hunter, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is
Bunker.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Bunker. You come into this chat to start
You knew it was-
shit.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah, but I was hoping that he would have enough sense not to fucking do it.
Just go to Ryan.
Right.
No, I want to
It's
hear what
like-
Hunter has
Now,
to
Hunter,
say.
Hunter, talk.
We've already
Like-
heard his complaints. He said them last week.
Yeah, but I want to say them again.
Oh boy.
I tried not to pay much attention to it because I didn't really care for a while. They showed it off at E3, and I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty," and then I kind of forgot about it. But then Dash got it, Jason got it, and they're like, "Oh, this is real good." So I borrowed it from you, Dash, and then I was playing it. I was like, "Man, this feels feels exactly how I thought it would be, which is the most generic open world thing I could think of since Horizon Zero Dawn."
I don't disagree
Hey, I
on
have that
that. I don't disagree. It's what you do. It does the Ubisoft thing. But given I am someone who has the sickest Stockholm syndrome with the Ubisoft thing, but so it's I don't disagree with you on that.
When I found the first lighthouse, I was genuinely surprised it didn't reveal the map to me when I lit it up, just because I felt like, oh, the Horizon Zero Dawn does this, Assassin's Creed does it, fucking Breath of the Wild did it. I was like, but
And you don't like the combat, right?
He doesn't like Ghost
it's
Stance.
just- Ghost Stance just wasn't very useful.
It's
That's
cool
not the
though.
point. It's fun.
The combat I didn't like.
Like,
it
you
because,
you make the game
you're-
harder for yourself just so you can get to Ghost Stance.
You're also a big Sekiro guy though, right? Like you like Sekiro a lot more than I did.
Yeah, the combat, it was all right, but all the stances other than the original one suck.
Once again I don't disagree.
The spear, there you get the one that specifically is hey, this is good against spear guys, and until you upgrade it to where you auto parry spear attacks, if you try to do a heavy attack on a spear guy, he's just gonna poke you faster than you can move and knock you out of the animation. So then you have to, it's why would I bother using the spear stance when I can just use the default one that doesn't take 5 seconds of wind up for a heavy attack?
That's a
It's
good
just-
question.
Heavy attacks are for pussies.
And
Pussies.
there's a lot of extra stuff like the throwables, the extra arrows and stuff. I never used any of them.
Oh, see, I found
unless-
kunai to be insanely useful.
Kunai's the
Uh,
only one I use.
I didn't
I
fuck with any
didn't-
of them but kunai.
I didn't use those very often.
Kunai aren't
I used
honorable.
I
It's
used
true.
all the
That's true.
various arrows a lot though.
Like the only time I use the explosive arrows or whatever is when I was doing a stronghold or a farm thing.
But I
It's
love
like
archery.
bonus
Arrows.
objective.
I'm always if archery is an option and it's done well, I'm always gonna lean into it because I've always liked it in games.
And I didn't fuck that much with the bows. Like I kind of had to beeline that game because I wanted to lend it out to people.
Because like there were parts I liked. The standoff was really cool. It looked really pretty, but like the side quests are all horrible.
I didn't
Like,
do
there's
I
not a
didn't do most of the
single
I didn't do any of the
fucking-
side quests.
I
like-
only did the sensei stuff.
All of the ones that aren't like about the sensei or the monk or the widow, they're all just like you talk to somebody, you go 2 minutes up the path and you kill some Mongols, and then you
Yeah,
just go
they're-
back to the first guy and he's like,
they're-
thanks, here's 5 leather.
Yeah, they're Red Dead side quests. Or any
Like-
side quest from an open world where you like run into people in distress on the road.
Hunter, is it a matter of we talked a big game on it? Is it
Hey,
that?
that's not even fair.
That's
Hunter
part
played
of
that,
it, but
Hunter
like,
played that before I did.
Okay.
Because
Like-
I didn't buy it until Hunter had had it for like 3 weeks, and
I'm
I
just
realized he
like,
was never
yeah.
going to finish it.
It's just a matter of like it happens. Hey, it happens.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
like,
Hunter
that's
played
a
it having
little of it,
only
but-
Hunter played it having only heard you talk about it.
Man.
I think I talked about it a little bit back when
I know I didn't talk about it.
Because no,
I
Zach
bought- I
also
bought it
Zach played
pretty
it
close to
before any of
release.
us, and he
Oh
loved
yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
forgot Zach did play it way
Zach
back when it actually
loved
came
it.
out.
I
bought it
forgot Zach
pretty
had
close
played
to
it by the
release,
time I
but-
started.
It was
I'll talk
I
about it a little bit.
It was I bought the game because I'm too stupid to play Sekiro.
Again, and I am not. I fucking have beaten Sekiro twice, and I just think this is more fun to play. Like, I don't want to play Sekiro because this exists. But
Like I'll say I liked how they did the waypoints. Like the wind, having the wind be the waypoint was a
it's
neat
great.
idea, especially since like another thing is that the setting's unique. I can't think of another game that's set in 1200s Japan during a Mongol invasion. So
and like I
I
know
like
that they
Kurosawa mode.
they take some like liberties with the like actual story, but I mean, much like Assassin's Creed is based in his history. I mean, this is also. I'll talk about Ghost of Tsushima later.
It
is
will
it your
come up
number one
again.
letdown?
I'm my letdown is that you didn't like that game, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, that's
Dash
mine.
just wanted to weeb out with you, Hunter.
I just like again, it's a matter of like whatever. Like one of these divisive games sneak in every year, and it's just a matter of like disparity. That like man, it's like even if you just like oh yeah, I thought it was okay, but actively not liking it is just such a
But
shock
still-
to me.
But still finishing it.
I played it. I did most of the side content.
Oh well, yeah,
you
it's
might
like
have
you
the
got.
most time into it of all of us.
I became the ghost of Tsushima.
It's like I didn't even get Ghost of Tsushima rank
I don't know if I did or not.
because again,
I
I
put
was
a lot
trying
of
to
time
like
into it, that's for
I was trying to
sure.
do it as quickly as I could so I could pass it off to people.
There was no reason for the side character missions to be 9 missions long.
I never
Nope.
did any of them.
I
like-
liked the Sensei one and still didn't finish.
Like 7 of each of those missions are the same shit,
Yeah.
and then like the last 2 are a little different.
Like they should have, because like you're only able to do a couple, like a certain amount per section of the game. It should have been like 2, and then 1 in the last section, not like, I don't know, 9. They could have done half as many and it would have been fine.
Yeah,
Like you're just chasing his former student through all of them. And I don't even know how it ends. I'll find out someday, maybe.
Ryan, what
Video blames.
what number 2 do you?
So this one, like, I maybe called wrong. Well, I'm certain I called it wrong, but I don't think I had enough information to call it right. But I am a bit of an apologist for this particular meme game. But I was hoping Battletoads would be a lot better. I really like the original. I love all the different versions that are on Rare Replay. I played, arcade versions. Like, I think the old Battletoads games are really fun, and this game fucking sucks. Like, if we were doing a worst games list, it would have been Battletoads.
I honestly forgot that game happened, but yeah, that game's dog shit.
I
It's
also
terrible.
forgot that happened.
That
The
game's
humor's
fucking bad.
terrible. I think the animation is actually pretty good. I think that was the only part that actually worked out, and that looked pretty okay. But it plays poorly. The writing's really bad, and they try to do this thing where every level is a different game style, and they're all terrible. Every single one of them is awful. But yeah, Battletoads. It was awful, and I played it for free because it was on Game Pass.
It also came out around the same time as Streets of Rage 4, which is also on Game Pass, which is an incredibly devastatingly good beat 'em up. And it's one of those things where it's like, here are these two old beat 'em up franchises coming back for a new thing, free on Game Pass, and one of them is so devastatingly great, and the other just sucks shit.
Fucking awful.
I forgot about Battletoads. I really did.
I did too. I played, a couple of hours of it, and just like, yeah, not good.
Like, I thought the game looked bad to begin with, but then I was like, fuck it, it's on Game Pass, I'll try it, and then poof.
I had high hopes for it because I like all the old ones, and all they had was that one trailer. As far as I saw, like they had barely anything out for it, and it was like I can't even form an opinion of it because it's like they did a teaser trailer and then released it, and that was it. And now I can't get this piece of hair off my face, and it's driving me.
It's called a beard.
Crazy. Oh shit!
You gotta shave, Ryan.
I think it was cat hair. I can't tell. Dash, what let you down?
It's time for my Rune Factory, so strap in.
Oh boy.
On.
Strap in every time you say it, you talk.
Yeah, but then know how much I'm begging you for this one.
Here we go.
It's pretty fucking ballsy for a fighting game to release a piece of story DLC. Only one name in the game could get away with that, and it's Mortal Kombat, and they did a story piece of DLC, which I spoke insanely highly of what they did with the story in 11 last year. So when they announced they were doing like the follow-up piece of story content, I was devastatingly excited for it. They got Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa to do like major acting for it, who's the guy who played Shang Tsung in the movie. I was exceedingly excited for this, and they shit the bed in every conceivable way. And I am so unbelievably let down that it's not my most disappointing thing, but the way they set the story up at the end of the last game is that they could do anything with it. There were so many cool directions they could have gone, and then they just did the ending of the original thing.
Final Fantasy VII.
That would be even cooler. That would be cool. That's essentially the plotline of Mortal Kombat 9, so they couldn't do that again.
No, they literally did Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah, fucking Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa meets Cloud. So it's like I don't necessarily need to get into the story details because none of you give a shit and it doesn't matter. But just know that like, God, it fucking sucks so bad, and I'm so let down by it. It's a $30 piece of story DLC that I happily paid for. Just shit the fucking bed, and not one cool thing happens in it. It sucks so bad. Jason, hit me.
Jason hit
too
man.
far away. Bugsnax was shitty.
Bugsnax was shitty.
I played it for maybe 30 minutes, and that was too much. I had no expectations, but like it was a free game, and I was like, "Fuck it, it might be worth a couple hours. It might pop into like a good visuals or good writing or
got
good
the bunger
music list on my
Bunger,
2020 games." But no, it sucked. The bunger was cool, and that's the last thing I did. Got to the bunger.
Have a nice day.
Got to the bunger, turned it off, and uninstalled it.
Fucking sucks.
It's
A lot
the way
of
to play.
free up that hard drive space for Warzone.
It's like 8 gigs, but fuck it, that's too much.
That's too many.
That's a single gun in Warzone.
It doesn't even run well. Like, it looks
power
bad
of PS5,
and runs
baby.
bad.
They can't even say Beffica without the frame rate dropping.
Beffica.
Beffica.
She wants you to feed her a hot dog.
Aha.
It's her
I got a
favorite
hot
bug
dog for her.
snack. Matt, what's your number 2?
Matt, what's your favorite bug snack?
My favorite bug snack was the bunger, but my
We already
number 2
talked about bunger.
letdown. My number 2 letdown was the Ghost of Tsushima, which I know again. I know
buddy,
we've
You're
already
seeing
talked
where the party
about it,
lines get drawn.
but the reason that this is on this list instead of a different list is I started playing it on PS4. It made it sound like there was a fucking plane crash landing in my house.
Hell yeah, dog.
So I stopped playing it. And I was like, well, I'm going to get the PS5. Maybe I'll boot it up once I get that. and that's what I did. Only it had been, I don't know, 3 months at that point, probably, since I had played it last. So I forgot where I was. I forgot the controls. I
You're
didn't
in
know
Japan.
what the fuck I was doing. So I didn't hear what Jason just said, and I just couldn't get back into it, and that's the letdown part of it.
I know that feeling.
The game looked
mean,
great. I
have
liked
that
what
all
I
the
did
time.
play. Like when I was playing it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It looks fantastic, but the disappointment is that I couldn't get back into it. It's not the game itself; it is the way that game panned out for me is the letdown. Like at some point I will start it from scratch and play it from the beginning and to give it a real shot. But I didn't do it this year, and that is a big disappointment for me. It's also
runs real good on PS5.
It's real good.
Yeah, I mean, I booted it up. I played it for, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe on the PS5, and it looks great. It runs great. It doesn't sound like there's a fucking airport right next to my house, but like
That's good. You just moved next to the airport.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? It's better than Danny living next to the lumberyard, but
fucking only 2 people get that joke.
It was worth it. It's like I say, it's not the game that is the letdown. It is the series of events that led to me not playing this very well received game this year.
And it was an unfortunate series of events.
It was.
You saying that thing about not being able to get back into the game after putting on a hiatus made me remember that a new Ori came out, and now I'm having to stare real hard at my number 1. So Hunter, while I think about that, what's your number 1?
Yeah.
No, wait, number 2. Number 2. That's
Dog Watch.
All right. My number 2 is one I totally thought up myself. It's the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles remake.
Yeah. Can you go into more detail about that?
I can actually, because they announced it. We were like, "Oh, sweet!"
No, we weren't.
This
No, we weren't. No, we weren't.
Every single one of us.
No. Me, Zane, and I, and you all were, and Danny also. This notoriously difficult to play GameCube game.
We were all excited to do it. It was like, how could they fuck it up? And then they found a really unique way to fuck it up.
They literally just had to port the fucking game. That's all they had to fucking do.
So it turns out, in the original version, everybody would, you'd hook up all your GBAs, and everyone would be part of the same town. And then you'd go around playing your own characters, getting crystal juice for your town to not get sucked up into a poison.
You can paint Moogles also.
Yeah, you can paint Moogles. They did in the remake.
I don't think we're allowed to say
only the host.
Oh, Hunter, you're missing. Hunter, you're not even starting with the right point. This game has no couch co-op.
Yeah, no couch co-op.
They just took that out of the game.
There's a pandemic.
Yeah, but now it's online only.
Online
Fuck
only.
you.
No one has a couch anymore.
You can't actually party up and just travel around the world with your buds. It's only in dungeons. Like, you can't even explore cities together.
Yep.
And only the host makes progress on that dungeon. So if you want to play with 3 of your friends and stick together, you have to run each dungeon 4 times with each person hosting it a different time in order to progress, because you can also only play with people who are in the same section of the map with you.
Like, it is unbelievable how much they fucked this up. Like, I can't, like, they took out local play. Like, oh my God, I don't understand how they could possibly fuck it up this badly. And I was so excited for this. And I didn't buy it, like, because again, we could see that, like, once they said that there was no local co-op, we were just, again, because pandemic, we were just like, okay, whatever, it's going to be fine. We can play online.
Yeah, we'll just get it on Switch. Switch Online's $20. Why not? And then, like, literally
even cross-play. So if you bought it on PS4, you play with Switch people. Like,
literally all they had to do was add online.
It also runs like shit. Absolutely abysmal frame rates and performance on every platform. No physical release. It's like a $40 or $50 digital title.
Yeah.
They managed to fuck up in every single way.
It's like you literally just need to add online. Why didn't you just add online?
Getting 4 Game Boy Advances and a GameCube is still the better and easier way to play this game. Unfucking believable.
Crystal Chronicles.
Crystal
Brian,
Chronicles.
what's your number
Brian,
one?
fucking lay that number 1 on me.
I'm gonna lay it on you.
Dr. Dre's The Crystal Chronic.
Snuggle me up in that disappointing blanket.
We've talked about it before. In fact, 3 times tonight. But the Hot Pursuit remaster was
it gets the rare, both most surprising and biggest letdown.
Yeah, well, I
It's
mean,
gonna
I
be
was
in every
surprised they
category
made it.
tonight.
I was surprised they made it, but man, what a just the barest bones remaster I have ever seen.
Yeah,
Like-
I gotta say it's up there.
They didn't fix anything. Like it's practically a port that they just wrote remaster on with a fucking Sharpie. Like
It doesn't really look better. It doesn't really run better.
I don't know what
Try
they
playing
did
it
to
on the PS5.
Oh,
I'm playing it
maybe.
on a fucking Xbox One X.
That's not what I said.
But also nobody's online playing it, which that's the big part of it, is like the online stuff on there is really, really good. Because the game's really good. But I don't know, it was just
I'm trying to find a lazier port job.
I don't think there is one.
Like none come to mind. But or
was-
at least like where it's like Crystal Chronicles where it's like really bad. It's just nothing. It's just
Why-
that game.
Why release a physical disc of it when you could have just made it backwards compatible?
Exactly. Like it's I guess to get you to pay $40 for it again.
I guess so. But like,
Thanks for the money, sucker.
yeah.
and hey,
great-
it's cool to play that game still.
Yeah, just what a weird remaster to even call
What
it a
is it for?
remaster. What?
The entire target audience for that is in this Zoom call.
Yeah. Hot Pursuit remaster, Hot for Spooge.
I thought about giving this to Ori, but they actually fixed pretty much all the performance problems with Ori, so it's really not that big a disappointment anymore. I guess it was kind of disappointing that it happened at the time, but
Fixed, you mean you played it again on a better console?
no, they fixed it on the normal consoles also. I did a little bit of research into it, but God, it was dog shit at release. So my game of the year of 2019 was one Resident Evil 2 remake. Fucking fantastic, best Resident Evil game ever made. Absolutely loved it. They announced shortly after that they were releasing a remaster of Resident Evil 3 in the same vein. Resident Evil 2 has the Mr. X guy kind of wandering around the map causing you problems. It's part of what makes that game so fucking rad. And when they did that, you could pretty much obviously see like, oh, they're laying the ground for Nemesis, right? Like that's why they're doing this, right? And sure enough, that is why they were doing it, or so you thought. Instead of having
Joke's on you.
instead of having Nemesis wander around the map like Mr. X does, which is part of one of the coolest things about Resident Evil, he is confined to scripted sequences at the same points in the game every single time. Fundamentally changing that thing that the original one did that was so cool. But also the game sucks shit. It's short as fuck. It's like 3 hours long. It just sucks shit in really every single way. It runs badly on all consoles. And I purchased this day one. I was super excited to get it. I beat it within a few hours of picking it up that day and had it sold on eBay by the time the sun set. And
Speed run, any percent.
God damn, I wouldn't even say like I had like that high of expectations, but just to go from like literally my game of the year to the worst thing I played all year.
I honestly don't remember you talking about it, and I was kind of surprised because of how much you liked it too.
Yeah, because I played it that one day and it was like, oh, this is fucking terrible.
That's it. That's all it is.
They charged $60 for this motherfucker. Yeah, it is goddamn garbage, and I wouldn't even say like I like called that one wrong because everything they were showing about it's like, oh yeah, it's hey, you know how good that Resident Evil 2 remake was? hey, check this out. Also,
do it. We're putting number 3 at the end of it.
it's like literally the fact that they didn't make this a $5 add-on to Resident Evil 2 is super insulting. It has reused locations from the 2 remake. Like,
That's how you know it's
Same
quality.
city.
like it's so fucking terrible, and no one should play it under any circumstance.
I'm gonna play it. Jason, what's your most let down?
My biggest letdown. I really don't have that strong of opinions on this one. I had no skin in the game. I played it for free. It was on
Jason
Game
just
Pass.
laying on the couch, fucking dropping bombs.
Just let me chillax while
I vaguely remember being excited for Journey to the Savage Planet, and that game sucked butts.
The game does suck butts.
It was very much. It was just like very poorly done. One of those games where it's like, whoa, we're goofy.
So
This is coming
wacky.
from the person who didn't complain about the writing in Immortals. Also, I think that's worth mentioning.
Because Immortals is definitely a whoa, we're goofy, but it feels like they at least tried.
Mhm.
They definitely did it better.
Journey to
where
the Savage Planet, the
it's
comedy in
goofy.
it wishes it was like Tim and Eric, but it lacks any of the charm.
It's just like the whole.
It's like if Borderlands didn't have nuance.
I maybe played it for 2 hours, but it just like in my mind looking back, I just would swear that the entire time there's just like a fart machine playing in the background at the same time, because that's how I felt about that game.
There
I
is.
didn't watch any of the cutscene stuff or read anything. I played it. I got to the like second big area in that game,
I did not get far.
and I was like, you know what? I kind of enjoyed that. And then the thought of going back and playing it was so disgusting to me that I was just like, I don't like. I wasn't let down, but I didn't really have any like hopes for it or anything like that. But it's like I played it for like 3 hours or so. I was like, that was kind of cool. And then I booted my system up the next day and was like, I really
What if
don't
no?
ever want to. I don't ever want to touch that again. And then immediately uninstalled it and played something else.
Yeah, it was just like it was one of the games that I like vaguely anticipated from 2019. Like I remember seeing stuff for it and being like, oh, when that one comes out, I'll definitely like pick it up. And
I
it
was
ended up
like
coming
sending
out on
you
Game
deals
Pass.
and news on that game because you like said you were interested in it. And I was
It
like, that was so
seemed-
kind of like outside your normal thing
it
that I was like, I
seemed
have
like
to
it was-
encourage him.
It seemed like it was going to be good, but like luckily, yeah. I mean, it was a day one Game Pass. I'm pretty sure.
No, it was
very
it didn't
quickly
hit
on
day
Game
one, but
Pass.
it hit it before you ended up buying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was very quickly on Game Pass. I hadn't even considered paying money for it, and then I downloaded it. Like I think probably the day it hit Game Pass, played one sitting of it, and never touched it again because it just felt like a fart noise of a game.
Yeah, it's been getting decent reviews too, which is like
That makes me angry.
I was
People are
so
fucking
surprised.
stupid.
Yeah, when I got as far as I did and was kind of just like, I'm bored. Like I can't even. The thought of going through at least 2 more larger areas doing this exact same thing.
Yeah,
just
but what
seems
was-
fucking dumb?
What was the fucking like weird spacey game from 2019 that everybody loved that also sucked?
Prey.
Outer Wilds.
There you go. Outer
Hmm.
Wilds was shitty.
I won't say that.
The
I don't.
music-
I think calling out. I think
music's-
comparing those two games is really insulting to
Out-
Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds, I think, was better, but it also felt like a
Wait,
fart
hang
noise
on,
of a
just really
game.
quick. Do we mean-
make the
Do we
distinction. Dash.
mean the
Is it
game by
Outer
the
Worlds or
Fallout
Outer
people, or do
Wilds?
we mean the other one?
The one where you fly a little shitty rocket ship to planets.
That is the.
Okay,
is
so
that the Outer Worlds?
That's Outer
No.
Wilds. No.
That's
Outer
Outer
Okay, no.
Worlds is
Okay,
Fallout.
never
Outer
mind.
Worlds is
Okay,
Fallout.
I'm backing up. I was thinking of the Fallout game.
No, which is pretty good. Like
I
it's not
also-
great, but
I was gonna
I
say that
have-
game's not that bad.
I also have Outer Worlds downloaded because I think it was either a Game Pass or a game with gold, but I never booted it up.
Quick
That's
Microsoft.
not bad.
Hey, that's
I would-
first party
I would give it a
Microsoft now,
shot.
baby.
I'd give it a shot.
The
Quick
first
aside,
like
can we
main
just talk
quest in
about how
Outer Worlds
fucking-
is amazing.
Oh, it's so good. The first quest
Yeah.
is so good.
Outer Wilds also felt like a fart noise, but like I listened to like some Game of the Year stuff at the end of 2019, and every single one I listened to talked
Yep.
about how great that game was.
I can't get
So
into
I
it.
like I squeezed it in at the end of 2019, and it felt like a fucking fart noise of a game. And then Savage Planet was very similar feel.
It's still insane to me that Outer Worlds and Outer Wilds came out the same year with pretty much the same name.
I am into this entire medium and news and all of this, and as you can see, that don't fucking matter.
Dash still can't
Um,
tell them apart.
Oh,
Yeah, that
Matt-
was my letdown. But I
Matt, hit me
really
with
wasn't
some
that let down by because
bad
it
shit.
had nothing in it.
Like, so last night Ryan made me think about Jumper Griffin's story, and I have a feeling like 10 years from now, Ryan's gonna make me think about Journey to the Savage Planet, and I'm gonna react similarly.
Nobody answered my question though. Do you think British people think the name Jumper is a funny name for something because they're just like, oh, you mean like
Oh, it's a
sweater?
sweatshirt.
Yeah. Because that's what they call sweaters there, Dad.
Sweatshirt Griffin story.
Pants is
Yeah.
underwear.
Matt, hit me with some disappointment. Let it wash over me.
My number one disappointment was Fall Guys, actually.
Oh,
Not because not
Oh.
because it's a bad game.
Because he didn't remember where he was in the story.
Because
Japan.
eat my ass, Hunter. It's fun. It's an enjoyable experience, but I literally only booted the game up one time.
man.
Really?
The first
You got
day
it on
it
PS
came
Plus though,
out,
right?
yeah,
Okay, well,
like the first day
I'm
it came
so
out,
jealous
I
of
booted
that.
it up. I played it with Dash. It was a great time.
to be fair, the multiplayer is fucking
I mean,
terrible.
Multiplayer
That's
doesn't
the
really,
whole
it doesn't
game.
really exist.
No, but I guess what I mean is the like playing with a
Playing with
friend.
Oh
is
yeah,
fucking
no.
awful.
You don't actually party up or
It's
anything. Like, you
pointless,
just
too.
talk.
Yeah,
You're just in
it's-
party chat.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Like I only booted it up once. I was really hoping that it was going to be the like chill, relaxed battle royale to just fill those kind of empty spaces when I didn't have time to boot up a story-based game, but I didn't have the motivation to boot up something that's quick and like you can just play a match, like not Rocket League, but that's a good example of that kind
Yeah.
of game.
I fucking love
But
that
I
game.
just couldn't. It just didn't hit that mark for me, and I
I-
really thought that it was going
That's-
to.
I mean,
I
yeah, that's
really
fair.
wanted
Yeah, I
it
get
to.
that. Like, I
And
totally
not
get
that's-
that.
I've played a little. I
Like-
haven't played a ton of it. But like
I
I've
fell
played
off
enough
pretty
of it.
hard
I'm
after
like,
season one.
like my biggest thing, like
It's a good game.
I probably would have played that game for hours and hours and hours if I had gotten it for free on like the PS5 when I got it because
Yeah.
you guys got it on PS Plus. I paid whatever like
Dash
$20
bought
for it.
PlayStation Plus just to get it for free.
I did.
I mean, I paid like $20 for it on Steam because I didn't have a PlayStation when I wanted to play it. Like it was
Sure.
months before,
and
I
then
just
you
I
couldn't play
had-
with us.
I had money in my Steam wallet from like 9 years ago, the last time I bought a game on Steam. But I wish, I mean, there's still a chance I might end up buying it on PlayStation just so I can play it. But like, because I don't play PC games, it was
A
like
little
the
bit here
only
the
game
other day, also.
it was the only game I played on Steam probably in the last like 3 years because I don't play PC games, and now I can't because my computer broke.
That
Oh, yeah.
game came out very early pandemic, so I didn't
Yeah.
even get a
Mhm.
chance to do
It was
the
decently
like.
early.
I didn't even get to do the thing where it's like I go over to one of your guys' houses who has it and play
Yeah.
it. But it's like I think that was the plan when it first came out. I was
Yep.
like, oh yeah, I'll hit up your place.
I wanted to go over and play it at Dash's because I knew he had it right when it came out, and I wanted to try it out, and I knew I couldn't play it realistically because it was only on PlayStation and PC.
Yeah, and then we
And
only got together
eventually-
to play Magic.
Yeah, like I'm kind of disappointed how much I fell off on it, but it
Like
has
I
that
would still play it if I could.
it has that fucking issue where like once I beat a roguelike or battle royale or something like that, like I want to chase the crown,
Yeah.
and I beat
never
that
won.
game very quickly.
It came out
and-
February. So yeah, it came out.
Yep.
Really?
pre-pandemic.
Was it that early?
Yeah, it
was
was.
that
It was
early?
really
I thought,
early
God
in the year.
damn. I would have sworn it was like April or May.
Hey, time begins to lose meaning during a
You're right.
pandemic.
You're right. But yeah, like I thought it was gonna fill that
I
slot.
feel that.
And I thought it was gonna hit that mark for me, and it just didn't. And it honestly really disappointed me. I think about Fall Guys.
Matt's biggest disappointment of the year is himself.
It honestly, it is.
I will say-
I think about Fall Guys probably once a week, and it
Jeez.
just
I
makes
will
me
say
sad.
I have played it on PS4 at someone's house, and I think it feels infinitely better on PC. And I would not say that about many things because I hate
Oh, really?
playing with a mouse.
Just like performance, or
No, it just like
or the controls.
it feels more natural, like just like changing your direction on a whim with the mouse
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
versus a joystick.
Sure.
Like you can have really quick reactions.
oh, see, it's like
that
I
feel
can't
like
imagine
can't.
playing that not on a controller.
And like
Well,
I
yeah,
can't
but that's
I-
because you don't play anything with it.
That's
But
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I-
yeah. Ultimately, I'm the
Oh,
worst
yeah.
possible person to comment on that.
Yeah, don't
Well, no,
shut the
But no,
fuck up. Ash.
but no, I agree with it. That like I never played like when I very briefly tried to get into PC gaming, I still did everything on a gamepad. But this, I don't even. You probably can. I just didn't even feel like it. I just downloaded it on a whim and didn't
sure
want
it-
to
I'm
plug
sure
in
it
an
has
Xbox
controller support.
controller.
Yeah.
It's got it, yeah.
But it just like I booted it up and it felt really awful at first because I never play PC games, and when I do, I don't use a keyboard and mouse. But I like it. I warmed up to it pretty quick, and now it feels weird to play it on a controller.
Yeah, that's. I wish it had been better to me, or I had been better to it. Hunter, what
Hunter,
was your number one
Bring us
fall
on
guy?
home.
Let us down
My-
easy.
My biggest letdown would have been in the worst game of the year category, but we got rid of that. So I had to put it
Alan
here,
Wake.
which is the Final Fantasy VII remake. I have. It is
Ash tries his best
mind-boggling
not to
me.
react.
Look, there's not like what am I what like there's nothing I can say that's like gonna convince him. Like you all have like what is there I can say? What is there I can say?
It is
I don't know, I didn't
part
play it.
one of a remake that they have admitted they don't know how many parts it's going to be, and they don't know how long it'll take them to make those parts. They stretched 5 hours of content into 40, and
if
there
it
is
takes forever, I will buy them.
and there is more padding in this than I have seen in a fucking Dragon Quest game. Like
And that's saying something.
every goddamn alleyway or whatever you have to walk down, you have to either balance over a log, or you have to squeeze in between things, or you got to duck under a low ceiling because it slows you down just a little bit so you can drag out that playtime.
You know it's not to drag out the playtime, it's to load the fucking area.
Well, it also fucking
You
drags
know
out
why
the
they're
playtime.
doing it.
We talked about the time ghosts before. Those are just so goddamn, like, why not just make changes? Why not just keep it the same either way? Just pick one. Why have an in-game reason to change things and then just get rid of them? Why bother with them? There's a point, I'm not going to say who, someone dies, but since he's not supposed to die then, the time ghost took the hit, so he's fine. It's like,
It
why?
actually does do that.
It's like, why have him get stabbed or whatever then?
Because it's supposed to happen.
It's not. It doesn't happen. That's why the time ghost is there.
It has to happen this certain way. You have to prey on your expectations.
It also goes full just Kingdom Hearts at the end, which is
Yeah, but well,
Yeah, but Dash
you
likes Kingdom
know,
Hearts.
but you know, I can't fault him for that. I can't fault Nomura for doing his thing.
and like they
I
really,
can.
like
You
when they were
should.
making it, you can tell that they're like, what do people know about Final Fantasy VII? Cloud's got a big sword and
That's all
Sephiroth.
I know.
And so they're like, let's put Sephiroth in as many scenes as we possibly can.
And also
Joe
Smash.
Sephiroth Biden.
That's his name.
Okay, Ryan, what was your favorite game that didn't come out in 2020?
No, we're not
No.
doing that. We gotta cut. We gotta fucking
Fuck.
cut.
Come on, Jason.
God damn it.
Jesus.
Join us next time where we talk about the best game that was not released in 2020, our misconnections, and most anticipated game, because we're cramming all those ones into one little quick kind of.
Yeah, we can't really
there we
talk too
are.
much about games we didn't play with which two of these are. So
I'll fucking show you.
But
strap in.
Strap in and join us next time where we before we get into the real shit.
Sorry we
Real
let
meat
you
and
down.
potatoes.